possessed by demons who identify themselves as Legion, for we are many. He casts out the demons, who then possess a nearby herd of swine. Immediately, the entire herd goes crazy and commits mass suicide by stampeding down a hillside and off a cliff into the sea. The seas have always belonged to him. It's his domain. Why did Jesus walk on water? To show his power over the devil. Moses parting the sea, same thing. Book of Revelation, all the dragons and dragons and the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Where do they come from? They rise from the sea.
The Bermuda Triangle?
The Devil's Triangle. This.
Right, so I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash, double unto the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work and truth and sincerity. You know, Esau, he really have you people believing in fairy tales, man. He got you people believing that dragons is going to raise from the sea, and you know, the guy titled it, have like somewhat of a title or something like that, written that, oh, they're telling you the truth in movies. Now there's some movies that do have some truth in it, but you got to be able to decipher, you know, the truth from lies. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, man, because really the Lord have not given you the spirit to do it, right? But again, man, Esau really got you people believing in lies, right? When the scriptures, Isaiah the 14th chapter, which I have it on right now, if you read most of this chapter, you can read all of it if you want to, but if you read most of this chapter, this is talking about the captivity of Israel under the Babylonian king. When it goes into hell, it's actually talking about the grave. Hell is a condition. So matter of fact, hell right here. So it says Isaiah 14:8. Yea, the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cinder of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath. This is where people get choked up at. People get choked up and believing that there's a literal hell underground where when you die, you were evil or doing wickedness. You die, you go to hell, you just burn and suffer and all that madness. That's no balance. That's no, you already got to catch hell on earth. Then you got to catch hell in some underground fiery pit. That's not balance, right? The scripture says a false balance and abomination to the Lord. Jonah said that I am in the belly of hell. So was Jonah down there with Hellboy suffering? No, Jonah was in the belly of a fish. So hell is a condition. When you go into this word hell, right, Salakia, when you go into this word hell, and it's not going to be a long video, man. I'm you know, it's just something the spirit just have me wanting to get. The word hell,
Strong's H 7585. Sheol.
right, which
and
means what?
Second entry,
Underworld,
Sheol.
grave,
Sheol.
hell. Salakia. Underworld, grave, hell, pit, the underworld, place of no return. Sheol, the Old Testament, designated from the abode of the dead. Right? And I don't really got to go further into it. Look at this. Look at the Strongs. The Strong says grave, man, or pit. Now, if you read more into Isaiah, the 14th chapter, it actually talks about the grave. So hell is a condition. So when you die and your body is decomposing, that's hell. We being here on earth having to pay rent, having to pay all these bills, having to pay for food, having to pay for lights, water, struggling, going through it, living paycheck to paycheck. That's hell, man. You ever heard the saying, a black man's hell and a white man's heaven? We are in hell. This is hell. There's nowhere where you burn. You go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, the 20th verse, or Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, and it tells you that the body returneth to the earth, and the spirit returneth back unto him that have made it. Ezekiel said, "For the Lord, for I have created all spirits. All spirits are mine." Right? And that's what y'all. This Christianity shit is madness, man. Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. That's talking about death. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? This is the nations talking about Babylon becoming weak, fallen, right? So it's talking about Babylon fallen. You read most of Isaiah the 14th chapter is talking about Babylon and the Babylonian king, and Israel being in captivity under the Babylonian king. So it says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pope is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So this is talking about the kingdom, the Babylon catching hell. This is what that's talking about. So reading back up to the 9th verse is talking about the fall of Babylon, right? It says, art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Oh, here we go. The angel have fallen from heaven that disobeyed the Most High, and the Lord put on a steel-toed boot and gave him the boot. No, this is still talking about the Babylonian king. It's talking about how the Babylonian king fell from rulership. We could prove that. We go into the book of Lamentations. Let me see. I think it's Lamentations 1:7. I think. Let me see here. It talks about how Israel have fallen from heaven. I don't know if I'm in the right book, chapter, and verse. Let me see. It talks about Israel falling from heaven. Let me see. I think it's Lamentations. Right, here we go. Lamentations 2:1. It says, how have the Lord covered the daughter of Zion? So we understand that Zion is talking about the Israelites, with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel. So wait, you're going to tell me that Israel was in heaven, cast down from heaven? So Israel was dwelling with the Most High in heaven, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. So when it's talking about heaven and these particular book, chapter, and verses, and in the context of the scriptures, it's talking about the rulership here, right? So again, people get caught up with Lucifer falling from heaven, but you got to understand, going into Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, it talks about 3 heavens. Paul talks about the 3rd heaven, right? So it's not talking about an angel being cast out from heaven where the Lord dwells. It's talking about Lucifer being Nebuchadnezzar that have fallen out of power. That's why it talks about his scepter, his staff, and his scepter, which represents rulership, right? So it says, let's go back to that. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? So now let's look up this word, Lucifer, right? Lucifer.
Strong's H 5307. Naphal.
Right, which means what? To fall, lie, be cast down. To fall. Fail. To fall a violent death. So it's talking about Nebuchadnezzar and his rulership. It's talking about Babylon losing its power, going into the grave, going into a condition that is bad for for the Babylonian rulership, for Nebuchadnezzar rulership. This is what it's talking about, man. So it's talking about a kingdom that has fallen. That's what it's talking about. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Matter of fact, Salakia, bear with me for a minute. Let me go back into this word, Lucifer. There's something else I wanted to get right here. Where is it, man? Let's see. Where is it? Is that right here? Let me see. Because it's actually one that goes into the understanding of it being a Babylonian king that it's speaking about. Let me see, Mary. Salakia, bear with me for a second. Let me see if I can find it again. Salakia, I went into the wrong definition. Let me see. Let's go into Lucifer. Well, what I went into last time was fallen. Hold up. Right, I want to go into Lucifer. Salakia, my fault. Little too excited. Lucifer, right? Lucifer, light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon, and Satan. Of the king of Babylon. Because in Isaiah the 14th chapter, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the king of Babylon fallen. The king of Babylon fallen. Babylon fallen. Right? Now that's what I wanted to grab, was the word Lucifer. I ended up grabbing the meaning of fallen. My bad, my fault. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? So again, Lucifer being the king of Babylon has fallen from his rulership. That's what it's talking about. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High, man. And that's talking about what? That's talking about these devils today ascending above the clouds of the Most High. Right? You could be in a proud spirit. It's a proud spirit. Right? Trying to be like the Most High. And today they're showing that. Because they're trying to what? They're trying to genetically code clones by taking the DNA of another person, the genetic makeup of another person, and make clones out of that person. Right? These are the things that these devils are trying to do. Not only that, they're trying to build SpaceX and all these things, man. But that's all I wanted to get on that. So again, man, and then it says something about the dragon coming out. He said the dragon coming out of water. Man, that's talking about the Roman Empire, man. During that period of time, 2,000 plus years ago, when the Lord was on the scene, he was talking about the Roman Empire. He was talking about the Edomites coming into power. This is not a fairy tale, man. It's not talking about literal dragons coming from the water and they gonna be setting fire to every damn thing, man. That's not what it's talking about. You people got to get out of these fairy tale stories that Christianity teaches, man. But I'm gonna end it from there and say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, double unto the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.